Hi, everybody. My name is Alexander Osipov, and I am the person who does not believe or used to not believe in ecosystems. Ecosystem is a part of information security, oftentimes just a marketing package wrapper, and it looks like marketing in Russia is way ahead of technologies or integration of these solutions. But about 6 months ago, I came to the company as a product director, and this is an open ecosystem in terms of the information security. And I went to the marketing department. What do you mean by ecosystem, by open ecosystem? And as a result of me trying to find out this, I'm going to tell today what were the outcomes of this discussion. What do we believe the ecosystem to be? And this will be like a certain manifesto, and also in the request to vendors and clients in terms of how can we build information security solutions and make them more efficient. What ecosystems are all about? Why do they exist? Actually, it's a marketing. Is it just a pure marketing, or is it like a real benefit if you're buying several ecosystem products from this single vendor or single provider of information security? Let's see what's the difference between closed and open ecosystems, the closed vendor supplied or open multi-vendor supplied, and we will look into specific scenarios which as a part of this RDA or non-RDA we're going to apply, what is available on the Russian and international markets, which are making our life more cyber secure. What ecosystem is all about for their creators? I think it makes sense, right? Because any vendor, any provider of ecosystem services, eventually they may not say, but it's an upsell. It's about making vendor log and hook you up when you cannot replace just one element of the ecosystem because you have to make the whole, and then you can generate the additional profit, and you can lock in the client. For you and I, ecosystem, in ecosystem products, having just a certain line of solutions combined into ecosystem, there should be benefit, and this benefit should be not only in terms of integration. We're also going to speak about that a bit later, but also that 1 + 1 should not be 2, but should be 3. There should be some synergy, effect, or benefit, which is more than the sum of 2 parts. We see some examples on B2C. There's a Western market, Apple, Android, and my favorite ecosystem, which makes me to spend tons of money, like a Yandex, and those super apps when you are, selecting your taxi, and it's also going to give you Yandex Market, and you just buying stuff, but just waiting in a taxi. You're in ecosystems, so you have to invest a lot to be able to combine these kind of scenarios. And first of all, it's about seamless experience. It's not only about convenience, because if you go into a different ecosystem, I also love to spend spasibo or thank you bonus points. In this market, there's a drugstore and everything, and you don't even know what you're ordering because you're ordering like everything. You're in the app. Next is maximizing efficiency. An example of Yandex, when you can make a delivery through Lavka service. I mean, it's a food delivery or a delivery of whatever you bought on the Yandex Market, and the guy who is like a taxi driver is going to bring it to you. It's super convenient. One common interface, transparency, manageability. If we are speaking about more like IT-like ecosystems. Now, what are we seeing in context of information security? Usually, ecosystem understood as just plain integration of a number of solutions, be it like a CM plus TIP or CM plus VM, and mostly this is about compatibility. Why it is important? Because many vendors are making very closed ecosystems, and you cannot combine 2 other solutions by 2 different vendors. You need do some some kind of middle layer, or to be able to automate and to be able to enrich it with data. The second case is users' convenience. When you're looking at one console, and in this one console, you are managing several solutions simultaneously. I think you know what kind of vendors provide this type of consoles and where they have transparency. But all of this still does not provide us value in terms of information security. It's when you can enrich data in automated mode, again, TIP plus CM or CM plus something else, especially when you do incident response or you do the monitoring. It's very important to get timely data and enrich them with your events which you have on your in your ISTs. Sometimes you cannot do it in automated mode because vendors are not communicating. But the most efficient case, when you have this additional value from several solutions which are combined and integrated, and you can actually build an automated scenario. And basically, in this case, you do not need to do any manual analysis with your engineers and look in different solutions, to send data back and forth and to do some sort of manipulations in terms of isolating a host or firewall testing. But this can be done in automated mode, and you can have your scenario of information security by one set of solutions which are pre-integrated and which have scenarios. It looks like the real ecosystem is not just a set of products, which are connected by the APIs and communicating with one another. But this would be a complementary protection when you are closing several vectors at once, or scenarios of one vectors are being shut down at different stages. And this also could be the seamless integration where you do not have to think and how to send data from one CM to other CM because they're not friendly. And also data enrichment, what I said before. But the most important part, even the single console, is becoming nice to have. It's an orchestration, automation of scenarios or specific processes of information security as a part of defending your organization. We have some examples on the Western market of this kind of scenarios, like a Microsoft, and we can see Defender and Sentinel, Intune, which are basically closing in this from the attack identification or hybrid, open source based solutions from the firewall, which is integrated by API. It's been described, it's been written not by the voice assistant or something else, all this has to be very well described and very well integrated. And of course, Elastic Hive, Velociraptors, they're quite famous solutions, but you have to, again, to upgrade them. Closed vendor systems are also a good thing. They have a ready scenario. They are building out of two elements. They have automated scenarios of closing a certain InfoSec event. Seamless integration, you do not have to come up with any kind of layer between them, single window, and the vendors are going to this single console. Everybody wants to make something big through which you can manage all processes of information security. High level of stability and support. Support is a very important thing in 2022. We've realized that it's difficult to live without support. And what's bad? And those scenarios are not always available. They are few, and vendors may have a different approach to information security and different perspective on your processes. Some smart guys have decided supposedly that this is happen to be this way, and also it's difficult to integrate this with a vendor lock and different vendor solutions, because you cannot simply replace elements. Also deal with the open solutions. There are some pros and cons. You can choose some best solution, but not always. Many best solutions on the market, they are so close workflows, you cannot integrate them. Next is automation, flexible scenarios which you can adjust, high speed of embedding in changes, and you can change elements without losses. What's bad? Not all solutions have a good API. Scenarios are costly. You have to develop your automation. You have to do this by scripts or by code, and probably you will need some kind of orchestrator, SAR. You can use open source solution or not, and support is on your own. You're on your own. And things are maybe just crumbling. The best approach, I believe, is a hybrid approach. That is, if vendors are going to do open and functional API, you will be able to assemble this ecosystem. Next is microservice approach, when each functionality in your vendor solution is actually just a separate functions which can be used for automation. Collaboration, not competition. Now, for some reason, it's not like really working, but of course, it is better to create many new solutions and to focus on what works best instead of trying to build many different solutions, but one of them would be good, another of them would be not so good. And next, of course, being able to do the fine-tuning, because there is no silver bullet. All automation requires that. One example of this would be responding to phishing attacks. When we identify phishing, we look at the CM and we see what kind of credentials have been clicking, and the same they're being sent to SAS, they're called to antivirus, and checking this. A firewall is and then they set automatically the goal for these users, for them to learn that they have to check into your Apex command log. And also phishing is something scary which may actually destroy all of your infrastructure or lock it down for a while. Now, what do we do here? We decided to automate certain microprocesses as a part of this security operational center. My time is almost up, so I'm going to go fast, working on compromising indicators by integrating source IP and EDR, helping us to react on the client's infrastructure. All of this is done either automatically or under supervision of analysts. Identification of alerts based on the path. This would be integration between the firewall application and some IOC. And SOAR, enabling an analyst to understand that what is happening right now on path can be attributed. This is part of some sort of a more tactical kill chain. And this is a short presentation. It's more about manifest right now. And I want us, as MSP provider, I want us to talk that today we do not have enough openness with vendor products, and role of vendor in this situation is to provide maximum efficiency in terms of integrating their own solutions with other vendors' solutions, to basically create for the client opportunity to build their ecosystems on a fast, not on a mono vendor, but a multi-vendor. Yes, it's all about revenue, but we're speaking also about security. Our role is to build custom scenarios, to organize them, to set them up from different solutions, and sell it as a service. And from the client standpoint, clients have to identify and formulate what they need for us to provide better scenarios for their pain points. Of course, there is no silver bullet. We are going to try to achieve this for quite a long time. I'm done. My time is up. Thank you. No questions, right? Yes, Alex. Thank you. No questions, but it was